Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening for an introduction to Diwali. We're going to learn about Diwali, a fun-filled 5-day Hindu holiday celebrated by more than 1 billion people around the world in this virtual presentation from the India Association of Greater Boston. Diwali is India's biggest and most important holiday of the year. The festival gets its name from the row of clay lamps the Indians light outside their homes to symbolize the inner light that protects from spiritual darkness. This festival is as important to Hindus as the Christmas holiday is to Christians. Diwali has grown to become a holiday that's also enjoyed by non-Hindu religious communities, including in Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. Hindus interpret the Diwali story based upon where they live, but there's one common theme no matter where people celebrate, and that is the victory of good over evil. I want to thank Asha and Nilesh for being here with us this evening, and I also want to thank the Friends of the Tewksbury Public Library for sponsoring the program by making a donation to the India Association of Greater Boston. So everyone who's here with us live on Zoom and also on Facebook, let's give a big virtual round of applause to Nilesh and Asha for joining us here tonight. And folks, you can take it away. Thanks so much.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Asha Thotagare. I am representing IAGB, the Indian Association of Greater Boston Area. Today, me and my colleague Nilesh will be presenting slides about Diwali, what's the significance of Diwali, and we will walk you through various aspects of Diwali. But before I start my presentation, I would ask Nilesh to introduce who is IAGB.
Thank you, Asha. Thank you, Robert, for the IAGB is nothing but Indian Association of Greater Boston, and it is one of the oldest and founded in 1962, a socio-culture organization. IAGB has played an important role in bringing the area's Indian communities together. So it's mostly in New England area. If you see, it's one of the oldest organization. And also we have very important events actually during India Independence Day and Republic Day. India Independence Day, that happens around August 15. It's in Boston, Charles River, near Charles River has shell. And also Republic Day, generally we will have, it's because of indoor, because of the winter. So it will happens generally in Burlington High School. And almost all these programs, Independence Day, Republic Day, approximately 10,000 people across New England area joins this program. So IAGB is also gone by executive committee. It's consistent of professional who speaks different languages and come from a different backgrounds and micro of the unity in diversity that is India. IAGB thrives because of the dedication and hard work of its volunteers, officers, directors, and the continued enthusiastic support from the Greater Boston communities. So it looks forward to continue work in the spirit of its mission for years to come. So I really welcome everyone for this opportunity also given by us. Thank you very much. So.
Yes, thank you Tewksbury Town for giving us this opportunity to present about Diwali. So without further ado, Diwali, Festival of Lights, also known as Deepavali. So Deepavali is Festival of Lights, and it's celebrated by Indians across the world. Like Robert introduced, it's celebrated by billions of Hindus across the world. So this festival gets its name from the row of clay lamps that are lit outside people's home that symbolizes the inner light that protects us from spiritual darkness. Just to make a connection, now this festival is as important to Hindus as Christmas to the Christians. So that's a brief introduction about Diwali. And yes, what we say, Deepavali. Deep means lamp and avali means row of lights. So Deepavali is row of light, which symbolizes a journey from darkness to light. And it is celebrated by billions of Indians all across the world. And we know that there are other communities who have adopted the festivities of Diwali festival, and they celebrate Diwali as well around the world. So again, Diwali is celebrated not only by Hindus. There are other religions in India that also celebrate Diwali in their own way of understanding. So Jains, Sikhs, and never Buddhist. So you can find this information on Wikipedia as well. They also celebrate Diwali, which symbolizes the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The reason why we say symbolizes because there are various mythological stories that associate with these symbolization, victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. So there are stories that will basically explain you the significance of Diwali, and we will go through those slides as we go along through this presentation. Now, the preparation and the rituals for the festival typically last for 5 days, and the main event of Diwali occurs on the 3rd day, which coincides with the darkest night of the Hindu lunisolar month, Kartika. Now that falls between mid-October to mid-November. And if you understand what lunisolar means, is it is based on the lunar month and the solar year. So that's why they call it, Hindus follow the lunar calendar, and that's why it's lunisolar, right? And then moving on to actually how the mythological stories are connected with Diwali. So the mythologically, Diwali differs in different aspects all over India. So in the northern region, Diwali is celebrated as return of Lord Ram, who defeated Ravana. Ravana is a demon with 10 heads. This person here is Ravana, and this is Ram. He defeated this evil person, and he returned back to his home. And when he returned back to his home, the people in Ayodhya city, they lit lights to welcome Lord Ravana. This was basically symbolizing the end of evil, and we were going towards happiness. So that's one story that we can relate in northern India. In the western part of the India, Lord Vishnu is again another mythological character that he sends the demon king Bali to rule the nether world. So Bali was very popular, and he was very charitable, and he was becoming, even though he was a demon, he was very charitable, and he was becoming popular over gods, over the actual gods. That's the story. And so Lord Vishnu had to do some tricks and send him to rule the nether world, so that is the underworld, where the demons belong. So that's one story about that's followed in the western part of the India. In the eastern part of the India, they worship goddess Kali, and goddess Kali symbolizes darkness and destruction. So to remove darkness and destruction from your house or from your surroundings, they worship goddess Kali, that will help you drive away all the darkness or all the destruction surrounding you. And then there is a story in the southern part of India where Lord Vishnu again, he defeats a demon Narkasura. So that's Lord Vishnu disguised into another role, and that's the demon Narkasura, who who's been defeated by Lord Vishnu. So these are some of the stories that relate to, darkness over um, light, happiness over evil, or light over darkness, or this was destruction. So basically they destroyed Ravana. So this destruction over happiness, and so those concepts are actually symbolizes Diwali. So that's mythological stories about Diwali, how they associate it. There are other aspects of Diwali where we decorate our homes. So the entrance of the home is decorated with colorful rangolis. That's another important aspect of Diwali. And the rangolis can be made with a flower. It can be made with a colorful sand, and it can be made with rice flour paste. So you make a paste, and then you use that paste to draw the rangoli. So here is an image where you see in the front of the house there is a diya that is lit, and then you can do a rangoli of whatever of your own choice. So the rangoli is another important aspect. So basically you are welcoming goddess Lakshmi. So goddess Lakshmi is the symbolism of prosperity and wealth. So when you decorate the entrance of the house with a diya and with the rangoli, you are actually welcoming goddess Lakshmi. Any visitors or guests you have, you're welcoming that with that colorful rangoli. And also you're decorating your house. This is one way of decorating the entrance of your house for Diwali. One more aspect about Diwali is lanterns. So people do install lanterns in their balconies or in their front yard. This is again because the lantern is lit, you are actually lighting the front of your house and welcoming goddess Lakshmi and the guests who are coming to your place during Diwali festival. Okay. Next up, fireworks is a big thing for Diwali. So fireworks symbolizes light. It is a big part of the celebration. So Diwali cannot go without fireworks. And then you will see that all the roads, the city roads will be lit like we do in Christmas. There are lights on the streets. You will see fireworks, families, doing fireworks, and then they are dressed in fancy Indian clothes. So that's another aspect, wearing good clothes, playing with fireworks, decorating the streets with lights. These are all related to light, Deepavali aspect of it. And people from younger kids to older people, they enjoy burning fireworks. And the loud sounds, also they used to like it, and that was that had been restricted now due to pollution issues. So up until last 20 years, we used to have loud firecrackers and the fireworks that would create smoke. So these contributed to issues like pollution, right? Sound pollution and air pollution. So to curb those issues, government of India has put some restriction, or they have banned bursting some of the firecrackers that are harmful to public health. So moderately, yes, people are doing fireworks, but it's not as huge as used to be a couple of decades back in India. Okay, so but yeah, fireworks is an important aspect and big aspect of Diwali. That's how people enjoy playing with light. I do want to highlight Shivakashi. Shivakashi, when we talk about fireworks, Shivakashi is a small town in southern India, in the state of Tamil Nadu. So this particular place is actually the hub of firecrackers manufacturer in India. And I do want to highlight because this is a very well-known brand of fireworks. that are used, that are burned during Diwali festival. So the history goes back to more than 50 years. So I do want to highlight this particular aspect of fireworks, where Shivakashi has a very big role to play and provide for fireworks in India. So we said that the Diwali actually starts on the third day, where goddess Lakshmi is worshipped. So Lakshmi Puja is the main day of Diwali, where families, they get together to worship goddess Lakshmi. And after the puja, so you can see that goddess Lakshmi, you can see all the treasure she's bringing and pouring, So, so to get prosperity and well-being, people worship goddess Lakshmi on the third and the main day of Diwali. After the puja, basically what people do is they go back, they go basically gather, and in the front yard they do burn firecrackers, and that's how they enjoy the after puja celebration. And then once they are done with firecrackers and things like that, they come back home for a family feast and sweets. So no festival goes without sweets and feast. So Diwali is also about sweets and feast, big meals like we celebrate here Thanksgiving, or we celebrate Christmas. There are festivities associated with Diwali as well. We also talked about other religions in India that celebrate Diwali. So I do want to highlight about Jainism is a religion followed in India. So Lord Mahavira, he's the founder of that Jainism religion. And Diwali, basically for Jainism religion, what it signifies is the anniversary of Nirvana. Nirvana means final release or liberation of Mahavir's soul. So the Mahavir's soul was liberated, and that is when Diwali is celebrated for Jains, for the Jain religion. Another aspect about Diwali is also goddess Kali that drives away evil. So that's another aspect of Diwali as well, that is celebrated. This day is the Kali Puja is celebrated by eastern part of the India, and this happens to be on the Lakshmi Puja day as well. So while the rest of the India is celebrating Lakshmi Puja, the eastern part of the India is celebrating the Kali Puja, which helps driving away evil. So that's another aspect of Diwali I did want to highlight about the Kali Puja here. On day 4, it's New Year Day. So some part of India on day 4, they celebrate Diwali. The 4th day of Diwali is a new year, and that's called Padwa. Another way of celebrating the 4th day in other parts of India is Govardhan Puja, or it is called, or there is a Bali Pratipada. There is a, so these are regional celebrations. So Padwa, Govardhan Puja, Bali Pratipada. These are regional celebrations that are done on day 4th. So western part of the India, Padwa means the beginning of new year. So where businesses, they open the new year with new accounting ledgers. So western part of the India celebrates that as a new year. So in other western part of India, like Maharashtra, where I come from, Padwa is a celebration of conjugal life between married couples. So wife performs arti for the overall well-being and long life of their husbands. And in return, husbands give special Diwali gifts to their wife. So that's in the western part of the India. It's celebrated as New Year Day, and it's also celebrated as a bond between a husband and wife. In northern India, it is celebrated as Govardhan Puja. So Govardhan means it's a mountain, and it is celebrated as Govardhan Puja, honoring the legend of God, Hindu God Krishna. So God Krishna, he saved cows and farming communities from constant rain and floods by lifting a mountain named Govardhan, and he provided shelter for the farming communities. So because Lord Krishna rescued the cows and farming communities by raising the Govardhan mountain, it is also called as Govardhan Puja in the northern part of the country. And in southern part of the country, it is celebrated as Bali Pratipada. As we discussed in our previous slides, Bali was one of the demon. He was kind enough and very charitable. So people do celebrate Bali Pratipada is the end of Bali, who was a demon, and prosperity or happiness coming back to the southern part of the India. So that's the celebration is done in the honor of Bali, who is actually driven away from the southern part of the India. Okay. Day 5 is Bhai Dooj. Bhai Dooj, you may call it Bhai Bhau-Beez, you may call it Bhai Tilak. Now, as from the picture, you can see that it's a relationship, a bond between brother and sister. So day 5th of Diwali is celebrated as Bhai Dooj, Bhau-Beez, or Bhai Tilak. It is celebrated as a sibling bond between a brother and a sister. There is also a belief that Lord Krishna, he arrives at his sister's place after defeating Narkasura. Narkasura is a demon, and he visits his sister Subhadra after defeating the demon Narkasura, and Subhadra welcomes Lord Krishna with a tilak on his friend. And this basically symbolizes a eternal bond between a brother and sister. So that's day 5, and usually that's the end of Diwali. Other aspects of Diwali, yes, there are sweets, and there are a lot of sweets. So yes, mouth-watering. There are sweets and savory dishes made during Diwali festival. So the circle thing here, you can say that's a chakli. It's a savory dish. Then there is a mixture where you can see cashews. There are coconut slices, peanuts, and there are puff rice. So this is also a savory dish. This big platter are all sweets. You can find them in Indian grocery stores, and they're very delicious. Jalebi, this is a sweet dessert. Laddus, which are circular, which are round balls. They are made up of lentil flours. Pedas are made up of milk. Or you can say it's more like a milk ricotta cheese that is made into balls, and it is sweet. It is sweet in taste. That's the closest I could relate peda. So they make balls of ricotta cheese, and then the kheer is very popular. I mean, around all across the Indian regions. It is also very popular in Indian restaurants here. So these are some of the sweets that people make during Diwali. And then basically I would like to summarize Diwali, what Diwali means. Diwali means happiness, prosperity, good over evil, light over darkness, festivities, bringing in families together and spending time together. So that's all about the Diwali celebration for the main 3 days, and all the mythological stories that associate with good over evil, light over darkness, happiness, prosperity. So that summarizes what Diwali means. I will be ready to take questions.
Excellent. Wonderful job and perfect timing at 7:30. So folks, if anyone has questions for Nilesh and Asha, please get them into the Q&A. And I was hoping we could take at least 10 minutes of questions. And why don't, while we wait for some questions, let me ask you, when is Diwali this year? And I believe it's coming up later this week. And do either of you have any plans? How are you celebrating?
Yeah, Nilesh, you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. Actually, it starts, today is the first day of Diwali. And that third day is this Thursday, that's November 4th. And going to end on Saturday, that's the 5th day. So, of course, we are celebrating. We have friends like now, as Asha, we are friends and we meet. We are going to meet over the weekend with the friends and family. And of course, as Asha was explaining right before in the slide, it's all together exchanging sweets. We cannot do fireworks here. And so that's, we are going to celebrate.
Yeah, so that's family functions, and then we have temples around in the Boston areas. So people do visit, one of the Diwali days. People do visit temples, to offer their offer sweets or take blessings to be happy. And that's another aspect how we celebrate Diwali here. Temples do organize celebrations as well. So if people do not have friends and families around them, they can go visit the temples and be part of the festivity and take advantage of the gatherings and meeting new people. So yeah, temple is another area where the Diwali is also celebrated.
All right, we have a few questions. Sharon asks, is there a celebration for siblings who are not brother and sister? Such, for example, just sisters?
Yeah, that's really a good question. So, yes. So siblings, the symbolism of Bhai Dooj, I think, that's the slide I think Sharon is talking about. So even if your siblings are not brother and sister, and you are both are sisters, you can still, do the tilak with each other, just to ensure that there is a bond of sibling. The bond doesn't have to be a brother and sister. Yes, the symbolism here was from the ancient time is brothers used to go to the field. They used to be they were hard workers, right? And the sisters staying home would basically make the meals, and the way I would explain is, they're kind of little weaker. So the symbolism here is the brothers are there to take care of the sisters, and through this tilak, they are reminding their brothers that you are there to take care of me. But over years, this symbolism has changed. So if you were two brothers in the household or two sisters in the household, you could still do tilak to each other, symbolizing the bonds of saying we are there for each other. Does that help?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is a question for me. This is sort of Diwali is kind of equated to like Christmas, and I'm wondering, in Christianity, Christmas has become very commercialized. So, even non-practicing Christians often celebrate Christmas, right? There's the Jesus Christ Christmas and there's the Santa Claus Christmas, and I'm wondering if has Diwali become that way, or is Diwali still religious based primarily, and do non-practicing Hindus celebrate Diwali as well?
Yes, so Diwali is celebrated by non-Hindus as well. I have few American friends. So they enjoy, I would enjoy the festivities of Christmas. So the Santa Claus concept of Christmas, yes, I would. So similarly, there are other people from other religion. They do celebrate Diwali with their Hindu friends for the festivity part of it. Yes.
Teresa asks, are gifts exchanged during day 5?
Yes. So the way the brother assures his sister that I'm there for you is basically, yes, gifting her something that she would love, or she wishes to have, which signifies that, yes, I'm there for you. So gift exchanging is a very big concept. In Padwa, also in Bhai Dooj. So both the days exchanging gift is a big concept. But in general, exchanging gifts is also a concept where you will bring gifts like we do in Christmas, right? We buy gifts for our friends and family and exchange them. Similarly, there is a concept of exchanging gifts during Diwali.
And so are there no big public celebrations of Diwali in the greater Boston area? Like I know Nilesh just mentioned that there's no fireworks. So I know that, for instance, IAGB, you guys do flag raising ceremonies during the India Day of Independence. But does your Oh, is that what? Yep. Excuse me. Yep. So, does your organization do any sort of large Diwali celebrations or no?
Yeah, not that I know of. Yes.
Yeah, but
right, Nilesh?
Yeah, so we have few other organization. Actually, it's they do celebrate, but as actually in our state, right, we don't have fireworks legal, so it's all illegal, right? So that's why if you go towards New Hampshire, if you go towards New Jersey, you will see all that fireworks on the road everywhere, actually, because there it's legal, right? So
I see that. So our firework laws are a little stricter than compared to New Hampshire and New Jersey. I got you now. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, there is no public celebration of Diwali as such in the state of Massachusetts. Yes, there are small organizations. They organize the program, but then it's really limited. Most of the time, it's limited to the organization people subscribe to. So there is no public event as such for Diwali. And if towns allow, IAGB would be more than happy, to organize such celebrations.
Excellent. Good to know. And are there any misconceptions around Diwali that you want to clear up? Generally speaking, I think it's seen as a very positive, fun, celebration. But anything that you think people who don't celebrate the holiday might not be aware of that they should be?
Interesting. No, actually, yes. We have never thought about that aspect, because it's always Diwali is about happiness, prosperity, all good things. We keep talking about good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. So yeah, there is nothing negative about Diwali that we can talk about.
And I'll get you out of here with this last question, maybe to whet our appetite for future programs. But what are some of the other major holidays in the Indian culture or the Hindu religion that we should be aware of?
Yeah, so Lord Ganesha, so Ganpati, so is worshipped all over India. Again, it's every region in India has their own aspect of worshipping Lord Ganesha. That is a big festival in India, and over years, people have started celebrating it in America as well. So basically, yes, the Indians they do it in a very small scale. Again, that is not a open public event.
Mhm.
The reason why I want to talk about Lord Ganesha is our own Tom Brady. He, from the stories I have heard, he has an idol of Lord Ganesha, the statue of Lord Ganesha in his home. Lord Ganesha is basically symbolizes god of obstacles. So he will remove obstacles from your way. So that's I don't know if Tom Brady believes in that, but he actually worships, I would say, Lord Ganesha, and that's one of the biggest festival that's celebrated all around India. I know. Yeah. And then Dashera is another festival that is celebrated all over India. It's about 9 nights. That festival comes before Diwali. We can talk about that celebration as well in one of the presentations. Nilesh, do you want to talk about any other festivals?
I know that we don't have much time, but yes, we have other festival as well, as Ram Navami, and we have actually, we do, if you must heard about Gandhi Jayanti, we have one very big, it's not a festival, but it's one of the major holiday in India. We have Republic Day, Independence Day. Republic Day is January 26, Independence Day is August 15.
Yeah, and then Robert, there are various regions in India. They celebrate their own festivals, which will be hard to cover in this presentation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highlighted the biggest, that is Ganesh, Lord Ganesh. So it's called Ganpati Festival, and then Dashera, which is again celebration and dancing for 9 nights.
We have Sankranti, Pongal, Lori. So we have a lot of festivals actually as well.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for providing all sorts of information and wisdom to us. Do you have any last words before we wrap up, as we are approaching 7:45? So any last words, Asha or Nilesh?
Last word, I would say celebrate Diwali and spread happiness and light everywhere. Drive away evil from everywhere. And we want to live in a happy world. So celebrate Diwali, which is a festival of lights. Like we celebrate our Christmas.
I think that's a perfect way to end. Sharon says, thank you for tonight's presentation. Very interesting. Teresa also says, thank you. Very interesting. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank Nilesh and Asha for their presentation and their questions. And they did this all on very short notice, so we greatly appreciate them filling in for us. I hope that you all check your email tomorrow morning, fill out that feedback survey. Let us know what you thought of tonight's event and what you'd like to see for future events, specifically also around different cultural and religious celebrations and holidays. Let us know in the feedback survey. I'll also include the recording, and feel free to share that with anyone who you think may be interested. Diane also says thank you, Nilesh and Asha. So thank you all so much. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Right back at you. Good night, everyone.